Hi guys, welcome back to another 12 by 12 process video. It is about darn time. I have not done a 12 by 12 process video in forever. I've been doing my December daily and I'm a little tired of December daily. I'm having fun doing it, but I just wanted to mix it up a little bit. So I thought I would put up a 12 by 12 process video to share. And hopefully you guys are doing really well and you are enjoying my December daily series. And if you're not much of a December daily project lifer pocket pager, hopefully then you are glad to see another 12 by 12 layout. So for this layout, I am using a Scraptastic kit that I got over the summer, and I don't remember the name of it, but if you have any questions, leave them below and I can get that information for you. And I'll try to link it up below too if I don't forget when I do finish this voiceover. So I'm just taking one of the papers that were in the collection and I added some white gesso just in kind of the upper left-ish side of the page. And now I'm going to take some modeling paste and use this stencil and add the lines. And I actually saw another YouTuber using this exact same stencil with the lines and I absolutely loved how it looked. So I was so glad to find that I had the same stencil in my kit, or not my kit, but my stash. And I've had this stencil for forever, like forever, ever, 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 like 12, 13 years forever. So I'm so glad I was able to use it. I may have used it one time before, but more to trace out when I was first scrapbooking or first formally scrapbooking. And so I'm glad to use it for this. And I really like the texture that it adds. It's just very, very simple, but it just adds a little bit of something. Instead of having a particular pattern, it just adds a little bit of texture. And I really, really like how it comes out, especially if you don't wipe it all the way across and you kind of leave some of the lines broken. I don't know. It was just a lot of fun to use this stencil. So now I'm just going to heat that up and dry it all up before I put my mist on. And I'm using to mist my Heidi Swapp Sweet Cherry. And I probably could have fast forwarded this part because me shaking up ink is not all that exciting. And it's kind of crazy because I'm going very fast. Anyway, so there is my sweet cherry. I'm going to spray that down and then I'm going to add a little bit of this white Dylusions ink to it because I want it to be more of a bubblegum pink than this darker cherry pink. So I'm just going to kind of mute it down with that white ink and mix it all together. And then I'm just going to use that packaging technique and smush it in different parts of the page. And so, like I said, I'm just going to use my paintbrush to mix it up and then add just enough sweet cherry to make it a little bit darker because I don't want it to blend too much with that pink background that's there. But I don't want it to be too bright either. So I'm just going to smush that down in a couple different places. And what I really like about this is it absorbs differently depending on what you're putting it on. So for instance, if it goes on the gesso, it absorbs differently and it has a different color than if it touches the paper that has not been treated with a gesso. Or it also looks different on the lines of the stencil that I used. It looks different on the modeling paste. So it's pretty nice. I like how it looks all different on different things. So I'm glad I used this technique and I'm really enjoying how it turned out. So now I'm just going to clean that up and dry everything up before I start putting my photo down. And this is a picture of me. I don't normally do scrapbook pages of me, but I figure, I got to do it sometime because I like to kind of see how I change over the years and things like that. And I'm sure my daughter will want to see what I look like then and now and different times. So this is just a picture I took of myself this summer at the park while she was, I think, playing on the swing set or something like that. But so I absolutely love this flower paper. Sorry, I'm a little bit off screen. I was kind of looking at it instead of having it facing down, but I absolutely love this flower paper. I'm not exactly sure who makes this one. Might be Crate Paper. Poolside, I'm not quite sure. I can look it up if anybody's interested. Just let me know in the comments below. So I'm just picking out different pattern papers from the kit to put this matting down. And the little polka dot paper is from Caitlin Schaefer. That is a Scraptastic exclusive. That little piece of yellow dotted transparency is also in the kit. And I believe it was a 4x6 piece, I think, or it could have been a larger piece. I did this layout a little bit ago, so I can't quite remember which pieces it was from, and I had some of the scraps. So Anyway, I'm just kind of layering that up. And I started layering it before I put it down on the mat, but then I was finding I just wasn't working out for me. So then I laid my photo down on my 12 by 12 paper, and now I'm going to start doing my layering, and I find it comes a little bit easier this way. So when I find things that I really like, I'm going to stick them down. If there's some other things that I'm not quite sure of, I'm going to kind of play with the layers and leave them unstuck for now, and then I will stick them down later once I'm satisfied with where everything's placed. Once I get all my layers and everything down, I am going to start picking out some die cuts. And what I try to do is use the larger die cuts first, and then I'll go to the smaller die cuts in ephemera. And I just think that layer is the best because you're going to put like your bigger, chunkier stuff usually towards the back and the smaller stuff on top. So that's kind of how I do things. And what I did with that one piece was kind of large, so I just cut it in half to use it on both sides. And I think that helps to balance out the layout too by cutting these pieces in half. Now these are die cuts from the kit and also cut aparts from the kit. Some are Scraptastic exclusives. Some are from the Simple Stories summer collection that came out this past summer. That one label I'm cutting there in half was one of the cuttables that came in the scrapbooking kit. And while I'm kind of fiddling and putting these layers down, I just wanted to say thank you guys for joining me today. If you haven't already, I do have a Facebook page where I post new videos that are coming up. If I do have stashes or hauls, I'm sorry, or other things that are happening, I try to post up there on the Facebook page as well as Instagram and things like that. So all of my links are below if you guys are interested. I also want to thank you guys so much for commenting on my previous videos and giving me a thumbs up for the videos that you've enjoyed. I really, really appreciate your support, and I've been having so much fun doing this. And this is pretty much about where I first started about a year ago. This month, I think, is when I first started putting my first videos online, and the amount of support and comments and friendships I've made online and all that has been really, really great. So like I said, I appreciate everything. So let me get back to the layout. Now I am adding those smaller die cuts like I was talking about. And now I'm kind of happy with the layers, so I'm going to start sticking everything together. And I'm just using my staple gun right there so I didn't have to worry about it moving too much. And then I'm going to use my ATG gun to ultimately stick everything down. And I don't use my stapler as much as I probably should. I see a lot of ladies using their staplers to kind of adhere their layers just to kind of get it down. And I probably should do that more often because it actually works out pretty well. But, you know, hindsight, I always think about that after the fact. So now I'm just gluing down those smaller die cuts and pieces. And you can see that pair of yellow sunglasses up at the kind of right hand side of the page. I really, really want to use those because one, I'm wearing sunglasses, and two, I just think they're adorable. So I really tried to get them on the page. I'm going to try to kind of tuck them by that Summer Vibes banner, but it's just not going to work like I want to. So I'm going to end up scrapping that idea and using that die cut for a different page. So pretty much everything I'm gluing down here, I'm using my ATG gun. It's one of my favorite gluing tools. I tend to use this bigger ATG gun when I do my larger layouts, and then when I do my Project Life, I tend to use the dot adhesive runners because a lot of times with my Project Life, I use smaller die cuts and such. So I like the dot runner because if the die cut is skinny, the dot runner just touches on the places that the die cut is, and then anywhere where the adhesive goes over the edge, the dot runner doesn't stick. So it's kind of nice. It doesn't have like that stringy thing that the HEG tape has, and I can get into smaller spaces and things. So now I'm looking through the sticker sheet, and I'm going to pull out this Keep Cool sticker. And this is from the Poolside sticker sheet, I believe, from Crate Paper. I'm a little rusty on my collections. Like I said, I haven't used this collection in a little bit, so it's hard to remember some of the things that I've got it from. So here's where I'm trying to use that sunglasses, and it's just not going to work. I'm trying to combine it with some other stickers and things, but I'm going to end up skipping over that. So now I'm going to try to put a couple other things down. In a second here, I'm going to start working on the title, and I am terrible with titles. I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but me and titles, just not good. I have a friend that I don't get to scrapbook with as much as I used to, but I always used her to help me with titles. Not that I used her, but you know, she always helped me with titles when we scrapbook together. But she's been really busy with her little kiddos, so she hasn't been able to do our overnight crops like we normally do. So I'm a little bit on my own when it comes to titles, but this one's going to end up saying I am original. This is using the Mini Market sticker sheet that I believe came with the kit, and then also some thickers. So I'm going to do I am in the Mini Market sticker sheet, and then original in the foam thickers. And I'm going to fast forward here in just a few minutes, so you have to watch me try to place these letters down because I'm going to kind of move them around the page a bit. And like I said, the title, it's better than some titles I've used, but it's probably not the most original, I am original title. But I think that the fact that I am original is probably pretty true. And I don't know, I felt a little weird titling this page. I wanted to have a title that kind of described me. But I don't know, I felt weird trying to describe me for some reason. So I thought I am original. You know, who could argue with that? Because isn't everyone original? Anyway, so that's what I ended up doing. And like I said, you'll see me moving this around, and I like how the I am original kind of tucks there by the L, but I'm going to find I like it a little better kind of towards the middle more. So here's my fiddling. And because it is trying to lay on top of the gesso and the modeling paste, it's not going to stick very well. So I'm going to use my Scotch Quick Dry adhesive to glue those tile letters down here. So that is pretty much wrapping it up. The last thing I'm going to do is use my white gel pen and put a white line or border all the way around the page. And then I'm going to show you some close-ups, and at the end will be a couple photos, one of the overall layout and then some of my embellishment clusters. So again, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below. Hope to see you on my Facebook page and Instagram and things like that. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye.